do this for me, my friend, I will bring in a second wife. I will bring in a third wife. Makagini, for whose case? Am I the one that will feed? Say you started. It's a man that would go out there, that will do all the work, then bring the money home, then the woman will ask and spend everything. You are working for the woman that you went to their father's house to go and ask for her hand. You knew that you were going to work for that woman before you married her. Yet the work that the woman will do for you is way more than whatever amount you are bringing.
If you say.
I say. Because 9 months in your last son, oṣù mẹ́sàn-án inú oyún lásán, no matter how easy that pregnancy seems to be, before your work can be commensurate to that, it is not beans. But now let's leave all of that. To my darling sisters who unfortunately, for one reason or the other, want to get married but have been unable to get married, I pray that you find your own soonest. I pray that God provides your own abode of peace for you. However, if you are going to be marrying a man who was already married, or a man who was twice married, or a man who was thrice married and you are going to be the fourth wife, see, there are ways and manner to everything. The way a single lady will behave towards a man who was single is not from the way once married, twice or thrice married man should behave with a fresh lady. I know you will not agree with me.
I don't understand.
For instance, if as a man who was married before and you're courting another young lady to get married to, I do not expect that no matter whatever the conversation you want to be having, so long as you are sleeping beside me on that bed, anything past 10, that lady that is coming in knows that you have a wife presently. Whatever your conversation is, the moment it is 10 o'clock, and this is maybe generous by saying 10, you should stop any conversation. You can send a text message.
No.
But you should stop any conversation.
I would ask you, when you were the only one who was talking to as a first woman, is anybody checking him on when and
I don't need to check him. I don't need to check him. And I am saying that as a band. I don't have a business. I as a person. I don't know for any other person. I do not have a business.
It should, because it's
with my man's phone. I think that it is out of respect for me because it's in my house. If we were in his place of work and they were doing all of that, because it is not something I am saying. See, no matter how accepting a woman is of a marrying, taking multiple wives, let's say because of our religion, so we are, whether we like it or not, we are getting to a stage where a lot of women are saying, yes, okay, do it. And women are no longer killing themselves over a man. But
so nonetheless, there's a needs of a woman that kill herself.
It is not as popular as it used to be. It is not as rampant. It is not as rampant as it used to be. You would agree with me. A lot of women are becoming more acceptable of that notion, right? Okay, I felt bad for long. But it is disrespectful of you.
Isn't that being excessively wearing some sense of entitlement?
No, it is not sense of entitlement.
Your husband.
I'm not telling him. I am not telling him. It is the same thing I say. You do not bring office work home.
A lot of us do.
Yes, but it is not good. Because ordinarily you spend enough time outside.
But that is not bringing food to the table.
You didn't let me finish. But I expect that when you are in the house, let's have a one-on-one time. Let's gist. Okay. Let's talk. We barely have that. Now you are bringing another person. So let's see.
Where do you put
before many people
most that successful men don't really, you can't eat your cake and have it. You can have a man who is working his ass up to get food put on the table.
Yes.
To say another man to also have the same equivalent quality of time you so require, quote and unquote.
But this thing is communication. This is where communication comes in. This is where communication comes in. If that time would be once a week,
yes,
then it is you and your partner. If you as a man know that you're going to have the time only once a week, I'm going to have 2 hours for you every Sunday morning, every Saturday, after Isha, every night, or in the middle of the night. In fact, it could be very early, 4 a.m., both of us. Whatever time it is.
The way you are saying it is even making it difficult for a man in this picture you are painting to consider solving the social problem you are trying to tackle. Because the social problem is we need to get enough women off the road.
What social problem?
The more ladies, girls out there who could not find a place to lay their egg, to call a home, someone to call a husband, the more we have promiscuity increase in the society.
However, we still have a lot of men who would say that tí n bá tí lówó títí the stage yìí mi ò lè fẹ́yàwó.
Yes.
But the society enables them because they have a place to do other things. What's the one thing that you can do, you cannot do anywhere else but in marriage? For us as Muslims or any believing person, you cannot have sex with any other person except your lawfully religiously married partner. That is the one thing you cannot get anywhere else outside of marriage. Yet some people have found several other avenues.
It's so natural for us that it is only when you overdo it. If you normal in our moral values, you have no business with extreme intimacy.
Moral values are not. The moral values are long gone. See, you know, you and I know.
Now that we've gone past that, we are now in the age of solving this problem.
Who are those that want to solve it?
Fine. You see, a lot of men today are not financially capable to start a home. Fine. Fortunately or unfortunately for us, for the married ones, those that are already inside marriage who understood how to manage the resources, who understood what finances is all about, who now knew, okay, this is what I had, this is my savings that I can manage. They are same people that can confidently say, okay, fine, I can take another woman to this place. Unlike a man that have not started at all.
Meanwhile, a lot of those that say they want to take another woman in are not even properly managing. Please, don't misunderstand me. I'm not against a man marrying multiple wives. I have never been, and I would never be. But needs must. We have to be honest with ourselves here. You must be actually sure that you can do this. Don't bring another lady in to come and Gia. Now let's analyze it. We have mentioned several. We have some men, young men, never married men, who want to get married but do not have the means. The first question for that is, what is their definition of means?
Okay.
I know that house rent has skyrocketed. Problem. So are they looking to start living in a 3-bedroom flat? That's an unreasonable thing for a young man.
Himself is expensive now in Lagos.
What part of Lagos do you want to live in?
On the mainland, you will get a room save as high in a proper house. I'm not even talking about the gutter house now. A proper house, you get it as high as 600, 700 per annum.
Okay.
And the question you ask yourself is, how much is an average income any man for you to be able to save up 600 to get a room?
Since about several years ago, we've been shouting multiple streams of income. That kind of young man, is it depending on only one kind of job? Why?
And we are in a country where we are wired, we are channeled to just single source of income. We have a separate job. Fine. Then the pay job you are getting, how much salary are you getting? Why are we talking about minimum wage? How much salary are you getting for you to even be able to save up to now say you want to venture into something else? Or you have a work that takes all your time. It's not an environment where you work.
We are in a digital world.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Where even if you are working a physical job, you have the opportunity to supplement.
There is a time to supplement. The time he wants to use.
What kind of physical job are you doing that you cannot supplement with?
Let me take the simple sort of job that men do today. A lot of men who are not working in corporate, let's say corporate world, let's say those the teacher in the teaching job and small businesses like that. He goes to work Monday to Friday, some Saturday. For school teachers and co that goes on Monday to Friday, they leave home, they go to work by 7:30, and they close by 6 in most time because of extra lessons, extra whatever. They go back home. Imagine standing in front of a chalkboard, writing. Because this is a talk for irregular people.
Yeah.
We are not talking abstract, talking about people that just make millions of dollars out of one. No, talking about real Nigerians, real Lagosians, an average man that we know that gets that finish schools, that they get the job. Those that get on the highest, probably they get to high as 300K per month for a starter, or civil servant that start with let's say 70 to 100,000.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
I needed to start it. So sometimes you just question, okay, I'd work for like 2 years. How much do I need to save? How much do I save?
Yes.
Okay, well, how do I get it? How much rent can I get? You would not want to get a small room set to say, can this is it okay to start a family in this?
Yes.
So we have a lot of constraints.
Is it okay to start a family in a room self-contained? Yes.
I mean a room, a toilet, and a kitchen.
That's a room self-contained.
So you begin to consider those social factors, and you just see that, oh, I can't stay it up. Let me hold on a little bit. And the options now comes to, okay, a already made man who understood his finances already, who understood what a woman wants. So now say, okay, for we that we are now experienced, let us do more.
Right.
Why the young ones increases their efforts to have multiple sources of income, to be able to now, still meet up
proper Baba Salim
to be able to, right? You understand? So that's what we are saying. That for those who are already there as wives, to understand the need.
Nope. And in this conversation, you are not bringing in those who are already there as wives.
No. We need them to learn to accept. You see,
it is not the business of the wife to accept.
You burden men with the fact that they are not doing enough in the house. Whereas what you are asking for, I tell people, you have 3 kids. You have a child who has eaten breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
But all of you want a situation whereby after breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you want that same child to eat brunch. You want that same child to have appetizers. And all these appetizers are same as more costlier than regular meal.
Okay, so you mean that your child
so that regular meal is not better. You channel it to host another family.
Hey, philanthropist
have another regular
philanthropist. I love your mass. Your mass is massive.
So or else you know it's okay. You can imagine someone who could not afford a meal. A meal, let's say 2,000 naira now for just a meal, and that same another person is wasting 12,000 naira on a pizza for a child
mindset
who already
mindset, but
will have a meal and the second meal on the third meal.
There are some people who are wasting 1,000,000 naira on a bicycle or a car that the child will just drive about inside the house.
Wastage for all our families to be able to meet up with helping.
Let me stop you here. No, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you. First is that,
okay, what do we need to do to reduce the number of singles or married women
on the streets? Work a lot of people here. Those of you that want to reduce the number of singles or married people on the streets, that's a heavy question, honestly, because I don't know where to start from. But I want to correct the notion of saying that just because a child eats 3 square meals, and then that means that you need to save off the extra so you can use it. It doesn't make sense to me.
You did not eat biscuit right for
your problem. That's your problem.
That's your
problem. But the fact that you didn't take something, the fact that you didn't take something doesn't mean that your kids should not take
something. You did not die.
What is the reason we are working? So that the lives of our kids can be better.
By eating excess.
Please wait a moment. It's not excess.
By wasting money.
What do you mean by wasting? You are taking away from the point. Let me finish my point, please.
Okay.
Let me finish my point, please. The fact that you want me to stop my child from buying snacks just because you want to save up. You want to save up for your intending second wife. Already you have put me in a mindset.
Wife.
Second wife. You have put me in a mindset that I am not going to like the person because she's taking away from my own provision. And it's not supposed to be like that.
Excess provision.
It's not. Why do you see it as excess? I have a problem with when I don't know if that is how men are, but if men think that to provide, when they say you are a man as a provider, you have to provide for my every little want. Yes, the first question is how many men?
Little basics.
Every little need, actually.
Basics.
Not basics. Everything I need, every single thing. So how many men actually do that? Most men don't do it. You see, you are trying. We never say you are not trying. But when you come to belittle the things that the little extras we want to do for our kids and then rubbish it now. That's wrong. However, it doesn't mean that you cannot go ahead and get married to multiple wives, because yes, that is also a means to taking women off the streets.
Poverty alleviation.
The honest truth is that
family
it is
creation.
not something that we can completely tackle, because now I don't know the math exactly, but I am sure that to each man we have several women, and not every man. Because Rasulullah says that even if each man were to marry four women, look, let's look at the ratio of girls to boys that we're giving birth to in this generation. We have more girls than we have boys, and it has been like that for a while. So how many girls rather do boys want to get married to? So while yes, it is a nice tactic to encourage men to work hard, to get married and then get multiple wives, that complaint that you have of women draining men, I hope you are going to put this at the back of your mind, that the more you marry, the more you are going to be drained. And the last one, the more you marry, don't nod your head, the more you marry, the more you are going to be drained.
The
more you marry, I'm saying it again, the more you are going to be drained.
The more we marry, the more comfortable we are.
The more comfortable you are,
and the more provisions we have.
The more provisions you have. That is very good. If that is it, please, all fine and good, please go ahead and get married and take all these single women off our streets.
You are not seeing
so that the society will continue. Why should I see it as you helping? Was it helping me that you took me away from my father's house?
Yes. If you have been there, will you continue to be there?
Did I tell you that I wanted to come to your house?
Be able to give you ends meet like what your husband is providing right now. There's another flavor to a man's money in a woman's life. No woman.
I need to go and spend it extra so I can see that flavor.
Dipping his hand in his pocket from the hard-earned money given to her.
Is my father a woman
that will not understand?
My father dips his hand in his hard-earned pockets and gives me money and says my daughter back.
You cannot compare that of your father with your husband.
Who says so?
Very
money is money.
No, they don't do this.
They do the same thing.
Even when a woman, go and ask one of the most successful women on earth, most successful according to record, they never did it alone. They never do it out of their husband, their father's wealth.
And the most successful men, they never do it from the bedroom of their parents. It's as simple as that. See, all of us are here. It is not a battle. It is not a battle of the sexes. All of us are here. We are helpers unto one another. And so long as somebody out there or somebody somewhere, even if you are just a couple, continues to see that I am fighting to be better than my husband or to be better than my wife or to do this or to do that, there will always be problem. But when we take the right approach to things, we would get the right answers to things.
That is why we are begging that how do you want us to help, guide us, so that we can take this thing from the woman's angle. Men will know how to do it better when they want to consider a co-wife. Do you understand? And the women will understand where they need to sacrifice, because everything men sacrifice to take the first wife. I sacrifice my self-love, my personal money, my personal space to bring in this woman into my family. Do you understand? I sacrifice my well-being. Like, I just don't want to start messing around. Let me consider putting somebody in the house. Let me consider going all out inside the rain and sun, bringing out money to the house for her to feed on. Do you understand? So that is why we allow saying, okay, how better from the women's angle can we get it done in solving women's problem? So that no woman will now be somewhere.
Women, we don't have problem. How better, my dear sister? The first thing, dear women, dear co-women, no, I am married. But even if you are married and you don't have this first thing that I want to talk about, you are going to have a problem. And you will probably end up leaving your house, or you'll be married but miserable, married but mad. The first thing is to have self-love, a healthy form of self-love. Not the one that becomes conceit or becomes arrogance, but a healthy self-love. The one that makes it enough for you to say that, yes, I am doing this thing in order to become a better person. Love yourself wholly. It's not everything, but it is a lot. That's the first thing. Single or married. The second thing is that, as my dear unmarried lady, wọ́n ní apẹ́ kó tó jẹun kì í jẹ bàjẹ́.
Ìyẹn tó ń jẹ bá kú.
Oúnjẹ máa kú.
Ajẹ́kùgún ò sí mọ́.
Oúnjẹ máa kú torí pé àlùbáríkà máa ń wọ̀. No matter how long it might seem, please believe that your own will come. The man for you, whether he be a single man or he be somebody who has been married before, no matter how many times, your man will come. Number 3 is that take away the mentality that I am going to marry somebody else's man. Whoever is going to come in as my husband's second, third, or fourth wife is coming, or she is coming to marry her man. You are not going to marry Sister Asma's husband. You are going to marry your husband.
Exactly.
No matter the number of men. So when you take away that competitive mindset, it regulates, it gives you healthy reasoning. It takes away all this unnecessary competitive edge that we have. I want to be finer than her. I want to have more money than her. She will oppress me. Nobody is seeing anybody again this age and time. Now everybody is facing their front. So even if you are going to marry somebody who has been married before, face your man. Face him and face him squarely. And if you are going to be marrying fresh, or rather, let me not use that term. If you are going to be marrying somebody who has never been married to, you're just going to start together, then you know that you are going to have to be patient with him.
Mm-hmm.
We all look for different things in marriage. Mm-hmm. If you are looking for obetotisi, of course you will not be looking towards a young man who is just starting. And unfortunately, a lot of our sisters now are looking for obetotisi, which is fine, no shades on anybody.
Ready-made.
But make sure that you know that obetotisi is coming with extra baggages, and be patient with those baggages. Meanwhile, obetotisi is coming with its own set of baggages. Make sure that you are going to be patient with those baggages. So all in all, it depends on you and your Lord. Whichever one, so you eventually get married. I hope that you find your happiness and you find your joy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide the best of marriages to us.
Thank you. I was going to say that my advice for those out there: be prepared and be ready to be a co-wife. I say it again, there's nothing like a second wife in this game.
He says it.
We are all a wife in our rights. And I will say that one of those things, key things to peaceful co-wife coexistence, is as simple as: you are young, you are new in the marriage. The person you are meeting there, she's older, she's been working way before you even finish school. It means that she's been spending her husband money like 10-15 years before you come around. So meaning she has more of her husband, she knows more of her husband, meaning that she's been working early enough before you should have enough savings for herself. Meaning that she must have bought enough dresses and rags for herself. So you are coming in. Don't come with the idea of competing with her.
Please don't.
Because you're going to end up bruising yourself.
Yep.
Note that when a man gives the one in the house, give her like, let's say, a 20K, 10K stipend to deal with, she's going to prorate it to like, let's say, 100K because she has more. She's been working. But you are just starting your life. You are now comparing your pot of soup with her own. Now troubling the man that is not doing enough. So that's when you, the newcomers, becomes problem in the marriage. You ought to go and live and enjoy.
That's a different conversation, Rich, and we are not ready for that particular conversation.
So that's my advice to a lot of people who are, because that's the only option. And to my co-comrade, please, cut your excesses. Make your excesses work for you. Start another family. Take people away from the streets. We need to reduce the number of free use. We need to reduce it because family is actually the bedrock of a sane society.
Yeah.
And from the family, we could have a great nation that we can call our own.